Okay, this demo is on moving anchor points and how to draw a four-leaf clover. So, first moving anchor points, and we use the direct selection tool to do that. I'm going to, let me go to black stroke fill of none and my rectangle tool. So, I'm just going to shift drag and make a square. Okay, and first we'll look at the selection tool black arrow. With the black arrow, we can, this is called the bounding box, we can resize. Okay, we can rotate with the selection tool by clicking and turning. Okay, I'll Command Z that, undo. Okay, and then we have the direct selection tool, white arrow. This is the one for moving the anchor points. So if I deselect, and then I'm going to the direct selection tool. Now, if I select on the fill, the anchor points will be all selected and I can't move them without moving everything. Okay, even though I'm in the direct selection tool. So I'm going to deselect. What I have to do is click right on the path, and with your smart guides up it'll tell you when you're there. So if I click on the path with the direct selection tool, now these anchor points become hollow and now I can move them. Okay, so try to remember hollow anchor points, hollow selection tool, or white anchor points, white selection tool. Okay, so that's how we move them. So remember, if you select the fill, it's going to select them all and they will not move. But if you deselect and click on the path, they become hollow or white, and now you can move these anchor points. Okay, so I'm going to delete that. And now show you how to create a four-leaf clover. Now I've torn off the pen tool, and the tools in there are the pen tool, the add anchor point tool, the delete anchor point tool, and the anchor point tool. This used to be called the convert anchor point tool. What this tool does is it turns a point into a round, or a round back into a point, and I'll demonstrate that. So we're going to start off with a square. So I'll take my rectangle tool and I'm just going to shift drag and make a square. And I'm going to throw a color on here. I'm going to throw green because it's a clover. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the add anchor point tool. Okay. First I'm going to reselect it with the direct selection so I don't see the bounding box. And now I'm going to take the add anchor point tool, that's the pen tool with a plus, and I'm going to place anchor points right on the path in the center. Okay, so I'm going out here right on the path. Wait till it says path. There you go. And we'll put one down here. And I'll place one over here. So I've placed 4 new anchor points on the path with the add anchor point tool. Now, if you recall, to move anchor points, we need the direct selection tool. And right now these anchor points are white, so I should be able to move them. So I'll go to the white arrow, direct selection tool, and I'm going to move these anchor points. And I'm just going to drag them halfway towards the center. Okay, so I got that one. Halfway. And the 4th one. Okay, so far we've made a rectangle, we've added anchor points, and now we've moved those anchor points with the direct selection tool. Now we're going to use the anchor point tool to turn a point into a round. So I'll click on that, and I'm basically just going to place the tool right on this point and drag, and you can see I can stretch this and round it out. If I hold down shift, it'll give me a perfect 45, but that's not that important. Okay, so there's one. Grab another one. Now if you start to drag and they're twisted like you see here, you just swing the other direction. Okay, twisted, so I go back around this way. Okay, now that's a 4-leaf clover. So for our quiz, let me deselect it. For our quiz, you'll just draw this. You'll save your document and you put it in your Google Drive by the end of class, and that'll be your quiz. Now, I'm going to reselect this. This isn't part of the quiz, but this is very important. The anchor point tool, the other thing it does is it also will turn a round back into a point. So basically, I just want to place it on this point right here, and it goes back. So I'll do that. Okay, and now I'm going to get the delete anchor point tool, pen tool with a minus. I'm going to delete the anchor points that I first created. And now I'm back to my square. Now I'm going to run through this again. So what we did was we took the add anchor point tool and we placed anchor points. Then we took our direct selection tool, white arrow, and we moved them. And then with the anchor point tool, we turn the points into a round. We round them out. And there's our 4-leaf clover, our very first quiz.